Hello, lads and gents, and welcome to Talent League Masters Division Playday number 4. Today we're going to be checking B Sports face-off against ClaW. Team ClaW, to be precise, for the nest, and we're going to be joined by, drumroll, none other than our lovely Golumolu. Hello, man. How have you been doing?
I've been doing very well, thank you. Been enjoying a nice bit of sunshine today, and now get to end the day off with some Talent League, which is always a lovely treat.
Yeah, definitely could consider that, but I'm not going to agree with you on the sun part there. I have been melting. I have been crying in my corner, wanting to go to sleep. Not been able,
Crazy.
but we're here on this T4 match today. We're here on a single one. It's going to be a BO1 for today, and it's going to be very interesting. Now, I have seen B Sports quite a bit, coming out a bit of the retirement home, but Team Club, not very familiar with them. How about yourself?
No, neither. So I'm interested to see what they can kind of step up and come up with today. Currently not had a great start to this season, obviously with the one loss so far. So you're looking to put a couple points on the board as we start to progress through the season. B Sports have looked pretty good so far. Yet to lose a game, one did go into overtime. So I'm expecting probably coming in. They might be our favourites here today, but you never know. There's always a chance for Team ClaW to shake things up and really flip the league on its head very early on.
Yeah, most definitely. But while we're there, let's check out the maps. Let's see what we got. And we're starting off quite strong. We have Consulate down, we have Cafe, sadly, but joining is going to be Oregon, so not too calm, not too chilled out. And as we're speaking of chill, we're going to have the snowiest maps of them all, and that's going to be Chalet. You know, getting brought up a bit more now and then. I have actually started seeing it a bit too much recently, so I'm starting to get that Oregon vibe from it, but I still like it. It's still a very good map overall. And what about you, Golu? What do you think on Chalet?
It's really fallen into the comfort positions. It's very much joined the Oregon, like you say, and I think that's understandable. We very quickly saw it get picked up once it was introduced into Pro League, and I think it gives you a lot of flexibility both on the attack and the defense. Teams can really mold the map and make it feel like their own. So it's understandable that you want to keep coming back to it. And again, it's still slightly more creative than your Oregons, your Clubhouse, your Cafe, but very
Yep.
much in that comfort region. And that's why you are seeing it a lot in Tier 4 and why we've seen it most play days now for Talent League. And I wouldn't expect that to change too much for the regular season. It's the playoffs where I'd expect the bands to become a little bit more funky.
Yeah, most definitely. Chalet is one of the safe picks. But with that, all players are ready. So let's actually head into it. Let's head into the operator bands. Let's head into the actual gameplay itself. And yeah, no, like we said, Chalet, safe pick, very common. But of course, it's all reasonable. If you as a team don't want to actually risk going into, let's say, Nighthaven, let's say any maps that you're not very familiar with, at the end, it's all going to start ticking down to, let's say, Oregon Clubhouse Chalet, which are the three more common ones, but we did see in these map bans, Oregon was actually picked off very early, the third one, I do believe it was. And without that, I mean, we have Chalet. We all love it. Most of us, at least, I think. But let's get to the bans. The first ban from the side of B Esports is going to be Ying. Now, Ying, very common. I mean, she's reasonable. I'm assuming a Monty Dokubi, or then on defense, I'm just going to say Valkyrie and Mira. But yeah, Ying with her just overall executability, how strong it can be, and how game-changing it can be a threat. So overall, a very reasonable plan.
Blitz gone away, so it's the more aggressive shield operator that's been hit up on. And you know what, I can respect this. I think especially with the quick access we've seen, especially from B Esports already in previous playdays, they feel very comfortable going over to the windows, particularly on the top floor, jumping into piano, jumping into bathroom, and making their presence known very, very early on into these rounds. A good way to try and limit their aggressive potential early on.
Yeah, most definitely. Blitz is definitely one of those shield operators that you do want to get rid of in case the enemy has a bit of a strategy to have pull any type of rush. Now, Kate, again, very reasonable ban. If you do want to secure those breaches, Kate to Barao combo will be a very common thing. Due to Kate, I mean, he can get hatches, he can get walls, he can put those claws anywhere he desires, and it has a pretty decent range. So securing hatches on this map isn't necessarily bad, especially on the bottom floor, especially going to, kitchen dining and also maybe bar and gaming. Upstairs, not as good, but without further ado, let's actually go into round one. And I'm already spotting that Tubarao Bandit combo, so it seems like, B Sports are going to be a bit more shut in. They have the castle, the mute, the legion, just to deny anything from coming in too quickly. But at the same time, they got to make themselves comfortable in their own space.
Yeah, slowing down the attack at the start is going to be really, really important, especially for holding on to these main breaches. You're looking at wanting to keep dining closed for as long as possible, because it just reduces the threat that can come directly in towards the site, and you play for that time denial up above, make life very difficult for Team ClaW. So for them, it's really going to be about that time management, making sure they can get through this top floor very swiftly, so they have plenty of time to come down below, put a full-on execute down in towards the bomb site, get that diffuser down, sit very comfortably in round number 1. But that's a lot harder said than done, so a lot easier said than done, I should say. And we're going to have to see how they approach this. A lot of utility stack coming in to try and slow things down. The castle to try and limit some of the longer angles that Team ClaW are going to be able to draw in towards this top floor in the earlier stages of the round will give a nice little fort for BE Sports to sit behind.
Yeah, but let's not forget Team ClaW, you know they're bringing the heat as well. We see that Dokkaebi, which is also quite a common ban to say the least, and Dokkaebi now in the actual stack alongside, maybe we're going to be seeing some Monty down the line, but not just yet. Alongside, let's say some Nomad, some Buck, we see that Fragger, that's going to be the Ash and Thermite for Hard Breach. This makes an all-out balanced and also good, I'll say flank denial from all of the attacking side. We have that Nomad, she's going to be preventing major flanks, and Dokkaebi just to kind of pick them out, just to get that information of them. You know, tell the enemies, or actually tell the teammates, hey, there's probably someone next wall. Just don't get wall banked, please. As we're going into it, you know, very defensive side from the Legion. We see over here they're going to be securing, or at least contesting, the map side on games because they don't want to give away library too easily. They want to waste the time, and once they waste that time, they're going to back up, and they're going to have reserved a lot of time where the defense, or the site, is actually going to be even more difficult to contest because most of utility is stacked on there.
Sunday getting the first kill. As Tom is going down, that's the Buck. So you lose your only real option for verticality. You got breaching charges in the pocket of the Ash, doing a lot of damage on that goo mine, just making sure that close corner is clear before you commit to whipping it out of your foot. Fireplace control now in the hands of the attack and starting to put the efforts on towards clearing out office up above because you really want to take away the option for the defense to play the vertical angles looking down into dining towards the bomb chassis, towards the dining room table. The main wall now going to be opened on up, but Bandit not falling away, instead using the castle barricade to provide that extra net of safety to sit aggressively. Slowly falling back into master bedroom now, but again, the defense still holding their positions up above. They don't want to give up too much space to ClaW, and there's only just about a minute left on this round, so the pacing for BE Esports looking really comfortable with the main site wall yet to be opened up, with the Zotos still available in the pocket of the Tuberound.
Tom as also being taken off the board is going to prevent any type of verticality for Team ClaW. That's going to put them in a bit of a blunder. They're going for downstairs. They know someone's flanking below, trying to take him out. There might get the first few shots, and that's going to be one for the R4C. Kadu gets one for himself. That's going to be Chris off the board. And now we're down to a 4v4. Now Team ClaW, I mean, we can already see they wanted to go for that kitchen. They wanted those verticals because they're breaching in. But doesn't matter. They get the breach open. The camera's still there. They have intel on them. BE Esports, you know, they know where they are at, but they have to pick them apart because Team ClaW are going to come in strong. We also see some flanks possibly coming in from the top floor and some backpedaling. I mean, these defenders, they're not going to push into kitchen. They're not going to peek into their guns. They're going to wait for them, and they're going to wait slowly.
15 seconds, it's do or die. You have to try and commit to it at this point, but as you walk through the breach, 2 will quickly fall. The smoke's going in deep, but it's not enough. The tight angles being held aggressively by Galanize are going to lead to the last 2 attackers being cut down, and the round will end pretty comfortably for BE Esports in the end.
Yeah, BE Esports overall had them choked out. I mean, Team ClaW, they got a bit of verticality. You know, they got that library side. They managed to get open on the top floor, which pushed B just a bit back, but that wasn't B's main goal. I mean, B was just staying in library, just staying, or below library in games bar, and just staying kind of upstairs to waste that time, you know, to kind of waste their gadgets to make them a bit more pressurized. But in the end, they stayed upstairs, they stayed back towards trophy and kitchen side, and let dining be as open for their gunfights as much as they could. We saw the bandit, you know, he peeked onto one, got aggressive, go for the hipfire to finish up the job, and that was it. BE Esports, they had him completely pitched because Team ClaW, yes, they opened the main breach, but they let go of that vertical push. They didn't contest it too much. They let them have their space, and basically Team ClaW just had a one-sided attack. They go, okay, yeah, the door on the left, but that isn't much useful. I mean, they had the breach, they had the door, but that's about it. Because there wasn't much pressure on BE Esports. They could roam around freely, and they had their, you know, fun.
It is really important to be able to put that pressure on in a timely manner, and the 2 extensions from BE Esports, that being the reinforced single with the Legion running around by stock and gaming side, as well as the Tuberum down below, both provided these very easy to grab tangents for Team ClaW, and it brought up so much time for that execute. And now, you're looking at the second round, it's going to be the other middle floor bomb site, and the defense kind of inversing. They have a slight extension onto the further side towards Trophy, just sort of teasing for a little bit of attention, but the priority is all about holding onto the space above the bomb site, library, mezzanine, balcony, and already Team ClaW doing a slightly different approach here, much more focused on attacking directly towards the main site itself.
Very true. I mean, Dokkaebi right now just going balcony. We do see some main or mezzanine door openers over there, but the entire team of Team ClaW, they are very spread out. They're going to go about it. They need to get this verticality, but in order to do so, again, you saw previously they had this one-sided attack. Now they're going to be spreading about completely. We have people going Solarium side, people going mezzanine balcony, or should I say, forgot what to call out for mezzanine balconies. Anyways, they're basically going to apply pressure from absolutely everywhere. Flush out these defenders, but again, they need to reserve for the time. We see the Azami, she is a very deadly operator, especially on spots like these. Mezzanine, you know, she completely blocks herself off. She can peek headholes, peek her own pixel angles if she wants to, and she can create them over and over again for at least 5 times, let's say. So alongside with Amira, it's a complete block out. I mean, also not even mentioning the shield on top library, mentioning the Wamai disc, just completely denying any type of flashes and smoke utility or grenades, destroying their utility. It's going to be hard to get through, but once you do, the time is going to be a lot simpler. You know, everything is just going to kind of simmer down.
Bees starting to fly on out now to try and clear out positions, but the Magnet's doing a fantastic job of making sure that those hives not going to be in the right position. They're not going to deliver any valuable utility or information over towards Team ClaW. A couple warning shots coming through. And dissuade you getting too aggressive on the window. As the goggles get put on, you take the first gunfight. It's going to be the second that comes through with a kill onto Thomas, but you've lost Sundi nearby, and they've been able to storm into library, finally clearing out the Warden. Man advantage in favor of Team ClaW, and narrowly missing Nitro Cell, leaving Rikaz on very low health. But now we wait just a second while Team ClaW reposition themselves around the bomb site. A little bit of pressure coming down Ivy Staircase, but Galanize hiding away in mud has a massive amount of influence on this round if they can stay undetected. We're just waiting to see what the noise comes through. Chris able to grab one back in their favor. Still going to be wary of the Dokkaebi, but they're going to fall immediately after I say that, as Chris just continues to get aggressive into this attacking lineup, looking for yet another kill as the attack are funneling themselves through Fireplace. Still undetected inside of mud. They've taken down the Mute, but it's the long angle from the Wamai that causes them the trouble. They take down the Wamai, one left hiding inside a bomb site, but you're not going to reveal your location this late into the round. You wait out that clock and you get another successful win.
Very close 1v1 coming up in the end, but it would have been a hard win because, you know, close range gunfight with the SMG-11 and shotgun combination Mute behind the corner is going to be very unlikely to win. Also, just in general, that Wamai hiding out there was very convenient for, you know, B Esports, and overall, you know, B Esports, the way they handled it was very good. With how Team ClaW actually approached the situation, they did it very nicely. You know, Team ClaW, they did the spread push where they kind of denied B Esports from moving around too much like they did in the first round. You know, they were completely stuck in spot. So all that was left was the Warden, which we saw, you know, the Grim, perfect use of his utility in order to get those flashes in order to throw those grenades. He used his Grim gadget to basically destroy all the Wamais, to waste them. And with that, all utilities started getting thrown. Azami saw the opportunity, she jumped down. That's why we love B Esports there, because she, you know, they backed off because they knew gadgets were gone, they were pinched, and they should reserve as much people as they possibly can. Which, you know, is perfect because Onyx was the only one who actually got taken out at the end. And with that, I mean, it was basically just a one-man loss. Also a good time wastage, but everyone could nicely back down.
Again, using the castle to try and lock down some of these angles you can draw from outside the building and assist B Esports in their early roam game. Again, basement bomb site, but we're playing with as much space as we can possibly get our hands on. And we've seen the clock. It's consistently been a little bit of an issue for Team ClaW in both of these last 2 rounds, having a very last-minute disjointed push. Despite, even in our last round, they had that advantage, Puffo. So I don't quite know what we're going to see from them when they have so much space to try and clear out with nearly losing your Thermite so early on.
not only losing the Thermite, but losing him to his perfect counter, the Bandit of all operators. Although, Bandit does walk away pretty comfortably, I wouldn't say the same for Thermite. He's basically a bullet or two away from 6 foot under. Now, we're going to start having to push slowly in. I mean, Team ClaW, they're wasting a bit of time droning in. They need to get that information, which is true, flush out any type of fraggers, but they need to do it fastly because if they don't, I mean, time is ticking.
Gonna get this main breach outside open on up now, so that does give them the opportunity to come back later on. And it's nice to see them put down that hard breach utility a little bit earlier into these rounds, just to give them the ability to speed up that late round execution. The rest of the team doing a good job at keeping up pace and clearing out the rest of this roam, but still a little bit of presence hanging around West Main.
True. And the opening kill does come out to MD. Castle is out. His barricades are still standing strong, but the Maverick, actually not the Maverick, the Striker, my mistake, will be the one getting at 11 with an OS opening kill. That's going to be the Dokkaebi also getting their hacks open. We get a bit of a bug we see on the spectator cam, but, we got the verticality, we got the upper floor. Now we just need to pinch out the defenders like before.
Main breach open as well, as Army looking to get a little bit aggressive, especially once you hear that EMP go through. That's a fantastic swing from Sunday. You take down the ace, you've only got one exothermic charge left, so you're going to have to force the rotation for the Thermite if you want to get this wine wall open. The rotation is made by the defense into Boiler, though, and so far there's no setup to keep this hold safe. I say that as Sunday, with a lovely shot, dismantles the Dokkaebi walking through the doorway. And the Zotos to continue the slowdown on the extended wine breach. Force the rotation down onto red. Thermite trying to walk into the main breach, gets taken down from blue though. So things starting to fall apart for the discombobulated Team ClaW as they walk down blue. You'll lose another to Chris. Doesn't quite know, but will finish off the Thermite. Bandit down on the rotate, but Striker's position well known by B Esports now. 20 seconds to find 2 kills. Won't even find one more as Chris just continues to rain havoc with the DMR.
Triple kill for the Tubarão, very respectable. That DMR in hand is absolutely unstoppable. But this is the thing I've been saying. I mean, Team ClaW, they're not seemingly getting it. B Esports, they really take advantage of the map. They really spread out. But that's just kind of a diversion. Once it actually comes down to the final phase, just like we see it here, Sunzi with a 1 kill, and then he also gets the second. But once they actually back down and they're in sight, that's when their main shell is uncovered. That's when Team ClaW really gets in a pinch. That's when they just started getting shut down. They are in 1v1 situations constantly, and they just drop like flies one after another.
I just want to highlight what a fantastic individual play that is from Sunday. Just a very excellent read into the normal patterns of play you see in Siege. Okay, there's a bandit battery on the wall. They're going to throw an EMP at it. Where are they going to Selma from? It's going to be Garage. I can get this window of opportunity to take down a really big player, and you pair that with the fact that you can Zoto off the wall afterwards to make sure it stays closed. Beautiful stuff. I love to see players who just have that read into what's happening around them.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, Zunzi as well as the Tubarão player, I mean, both just absolutely dominated the round. They both single-handedly got an ace. But overall, in the end, Team ClaW is the one that's in trouble. Right now, they're down 3 rounds. And if they want to get it a bit closer, they got to make it a 3-3, at least a 4-2 before they go into that split. If it comes out with a 5-1 or a 6-0, all we can do is cross our fingers, maybe pray a bit, and with that, opening it up is going to be an opening kill from Team ClaW onto Team ClaW with a team kill onto Kidu.
Suboptimal. Certainly not an ideal start for your round. You give the opening pick to B Esports. No one's claimed it in the all chat, which we know is an important part of a team kill. No nice shots either. So, I'd like to see a little bit more sportsmanship from B Esports in taunting the kill there, but still running around this top floor, perhaps fortunate to evade the eyes of Striker, but it's not going to matter. The rest of the team are going to pick up yet another freebie as Rikaz just running a little bit aggressively through. Dokkaebi now in close proximity, but again, you're still hunting for that opening pick for the side of the attack. A minute gone, you lost a couple of your pieces, and now we're just being a little bit silly, gents. Let's slow things down. You can work for picks, you can work to try and bring this disadvantage back. You're now in the worst part of a 2 versus 5. One quick kill as the bandit over-aggresses, but a well-placed Nitro Cell from Onyx will mean that you're left in the 1 versus 4. Corella, big second kill so far, though. Is still a winnable round. Plenty of time to make some magic happen. 1 minute 30 still on the clock.
But you are playing a bit of a losing battle, getting that team kill and also just an early 5v2-ish situation, or 4v2 if I'm corrected, is not essential, or actually is not optimal at all. I mean, the Thermite's left, yeah, but he's in a 3v1. He's basically stuck outside of sight. He has no control over it, but he has control over his shots, managing to get himself the third kill. That's going to be on to Sundi, but he needs to continue it. Now, this is looking promising. If he manages to clutch it up, it's going to be an ace, and I'm definitely going to be screaming in the background, but yet again, going up close with that shotgun is going to be a difficult task to go with, especially with those footholds lurking on your right.
They know you're close, and now the shotgun shell going off is going to give you a clear position on that mute. You throw out another smoke to try and obscure the longer angle, to walk up sneakily. You evade the most of the damage. You get the quadra kill. There's only one more left to find. You're waiting to try and bait out a couple shots, but you only have 16 HP. You cannot afford to get hit a single time. Just creeping through the doorway, gonna rotate back away and open up the main breach. The false call coming in from Chris, that's a staple of Siege. Moving through into kitchen now to change up the angle. He's looking for your doorway. The castle knows you're here. You crouch on through, but you get taken down. Very well done from MD to patiently wait out in a 1v1 from, let's not forget, a 1v4 situation, effectively.
Corella, hands down, definitely managed to actually get it essentially close. I mean, I was biting my nails on halfway there like a cartoon character, because the fact that it managed to come down from a 4v1 to a 1v1 is absolutely insane. But at the end, you know, he is fighting a losing battle. Again, Thermite, he needs to go inside, and he has about 10 angles he can get shot from. For all he knows, Castle could be below, he could be above. He has no information on him. Although Castle MD, I mean, he was completely clued out. He had everything. He knows the Thermite was either going to come from the right door or from the breach. He just opened up. Not much more to go off of it. So, yeah, Team ClaW right now definitely put themselves in a blunderous situation. Not only that, their starting situation, I don't know how the team kill happened, but it definitely wasn't good. And then following it up, it was just 1v1 battles for B Esports. They managed to get these pre-fires, which were easily winnable for them. Team ClaW not even putting up a fight, not getting any type of refrags. It feels like each player is playing for themselves.
And we just keep going, right? You get your round 4 win, you go back to kitchen dining, bar gaming, same thing really, and rinse and repeat. No team kill in the opening 10 seconds, so already improvements from Team ClaW from the round previously, and that's all you can really ask for, is teams to continually just slowly improve throughout the course of the game. But we need to see a drastic change up from Team ClaW, and the problem is, I don't feel like I can limit it to just one thing. The biggest thing for me is just addressing this roam. We're not seeing a coherent enough push from Team ClaW. I feel like they're trying to overcomplicate things. They're spreading out so much, each player trying to push a different angle, have a different agenda. But if you just put 3 players all on one mission together and make sure it gets done, and done very, very well, I feel like that gives you a little bit of an advantage to start pushing that snowball, to start pushing your way comfortably through the rounds.
Definitely another thing to mention would be how they actually go about things. You know, they clear something out, they have that verticality, whatever they just, you know, use their utility, time, and men, even people, whatever they actually manage to get, they don't use fully. I mean, they just switch on to their objective, which is kind of pre-written into their brains from the very start, and then they just go along with it. They completely ignore it. They basically clear out places just to get rid of defenders, but not to use them. You know, maybe library would have been a bit better to go vertical and then push from downstairs mezzanine side, not to actually, you know, just go mezzanine only. You have that library, you have those verticals, whatever you obtained, use it because it's in your hands and you have the control over it and you fought for it. So that's one of the things that I would also like to add to the points of what they could change. But again, they need to do a lot of things all at once. It's not just this one major change that they need to do.
Flying out with the utility once again to try and remove this shield from the top of the staircase. You could send a drone in perhaps, but there might be a jammer protecting it. Well, drone's finally going to come through. There is a jammer protecting it. So, a good job so far from B Esports, but able to get it in to force the Warden out. But he's just taking down Kidu, and there's no one else in proximity to help assist on this window, so you're giving the Warden a lifeline to try and escape. Gone down behind the table. Are you expecting it? You pre-fire the first, you pre-fire the second. Good kill for Rikaz.
Most definitely one of the main issues there as well. I mean, okay, Esports, they actually pushed off Team ClaW, they got what they needed, and now they're playing off of it. That's perfect. That's what we've been wanting to see. And it's down to the 30 seconds, so they still have some time to actually go about it. You know, maybe get some picks. They have the man advantage almost. They just need to get one for themselves. You know, it's evened out. Uruzami kind of taking some damage. Sunzi on that 29, not looking good. Completely down. That's going to be one onto Thomas, opening it up. Chris managing to trade it out. SMG long range. He doesn't need close range for it. Gallon is joining on the train. That's going to be another from Chris. And just to finish it up, 4 kills in a matter of 5 seconds with the round done. And now we are down to 5-0. Golu, it's going to be a 5-0 or a 6, or actually a 5-1 or a 6-0 split.
You said at the start of this, the thing you want to avoid is a 5-1 or a 6-0. And that's where we're at. It's going to be dangerous as well because Chalet, a map considered to have a pretty good chance for attack to do quite well due to how open you can make it feel and how exposed you can put the defenders in very uncomfortable positions from outside the building, right? You don't even have to walk in and contest for space. You just pepper those shots in from the balconies. I am a little concerned at this point, and we're back down to the basement where we saw things start to really slip away from Team ClaW. Some good aggression from BE Sports and their ability to extend on a roam that just couldn't be dealt with efficiently. They have removed the castle this time, which opens up some of these external windows. That is certainly going to help in terms of limiting the movement for BE Sports. But you add in the Solace, and it's just another one of these tools that can stall for time, can make life very hard to root out the defenders. I'm a little bit concerned.
Yeah. So am I. I mean, the score already is saying a lot about how things have been going for Team ClaW, but again, Esports, they are really fantastic with how diverse of their strategy is. I've mentioned it before and I'll do it again because their main strategy is on site, but they still manage to expand out, waste a lot of time, and only lose maybe one player at max at the end of it, while still managing to, you know, get it down to 1 minute. Spawn peeking and playing aggressively is also a trait that has been seen by them very commonly, but it's been working out for them. I mean, they've been doing fantastically for the 5 rounds that we've been through, and before the split, we still have 1 to go, so Team ClaW at least get 1.
Starting on the top floor again. This time it's a lot less utility coming into the roam and more just sort of relying on the prowess of MD on the Solace to keep the information gathering for themselves, spot out where the drones are coming, but it doesn't look like ClaW are even going to come through and check too deep into office, making the sort of the guess that it's going to be pretty clear. Face checking through, I don't think you're going to check your corners. This could be a little bit dangerous for them. Galani is now coming up to try and wrap around behind the ram as well. So BE Sports suddenly feeling very comfortable to move quite freely through Chalet, despite the fact that Team ClaW have had a whole minute to make it feel like their own space.
And with that, MD is going to be the opening pick, the opening kill. The pick is going to be Thomas. That P90 in hand, a lot of bullets, but also a lot of kills dropping onto BE Sports. Gallon is joining along the train, is going to be taking out Kadu, and there comes the third one. Krish going all from top, bottom blue, just, you know, kind of slowly sneaking his way up and managing to take out the Thermite. Now Rikas with the board off is going to be basically in the spectators booth. We have 2 players on Team ClaW and 5 players on BE Sports. And with how well BE Sports is managing to kind of chemistry their way through, I mean, we have 1 kill coming on, then they kind of just start combining together just to not only distract the enemies, but also take them out one by one. And, I mean, with how spread out Team ClaW is, it's only to be expected at this point.
Finally a kill coming in favor of Team ClaW as they can start to looking down towards the site itself. Still got Harbury's charge in the pocket of Striker. His shots are just being sprayed through the top of your floor. Solace in close proximity in jungle, able to take down 1, and Onyx finds Striker getting aggressive, trying to just run down towards the site itself, and it's been a little bit of a blowout so far.
It is 6-0, and we are now on to the half-round split, with BE Sports being on attack and Team ClaW being on defense. We're going to have to see if Team ClaW can actually manage to muster anything together, because, I mean, I just want to shout out absolute fantastic play. You know, Gallons went upstairs, top blue managed to take out 1 for himself. Thermite wanted to just flank check him, just, you know, take him out while he is on his way back. And Chris comes up blue from bottom, completely out of nowhere, to take him out. Like, their coordination is on point. It's like they know where they are at a complete, just every single moment. Like, one hive mind working together in B Esports is doing fantastically. They're also using that aggression perfectly alongside with the coordination. So, in general, they are completely demolishing Team ClaW right now because Team ClaW is not only pinched, out of time, but also out of players every single round.
Back to kitchen dining. I think this site has become very comfortable for both teams. We've seen it twice for BE Sports. But the mirror coming through is a nice change that I really like to see, especially the control it gives you inside a split and the extension up above, again, to try and play out for this time. Team ClaW have really struggled with the clearing out of above, right? With having so much map that you have to move through, doing so in a timely fashion that gives you the flexibility to then be, well, not even flexibility, just the time allowed to push into site. I will expect BE Sports to be a little bit quicker with their movement throughout. The lineup immediately coming in with both the Dokkaebi and the Thinker screams that they're going to have quite an aggressive sweep. And the drones already coming through, already knowing that they can go right up towards the office breach. That's a great start for them.
Very true. Great start for them indeed. And with that, I mean, I'm so scared about that 6, so I just can't let it out of my mind. It's completely bugging me out. And as we're going about it, the attacking side, they're doing things very quickly. I mean, the site isn't upstairs, but they're just clearing it out. We have library, we have top mezzanine, we have basically everything under control besides Solarium and, let's say, Master's bedroom side. Also, piano could be contested, but Team ClaW, I mean, they're just not taking it. They have the information, they have some gadgets upstairs, but they're not committing to them. I'm assuming the second they get into a gunfight, it's all just going to back down and crumble, but we have still 2 players upstairs standing, and it's only a matter of time before it all goes wrong, because BE Sports, they've been very consistent, and I can't say the same thing for Team ClaW.
Oh dear. ClaW's day is becoming slightly worse. Kidu at least able to get a kill back onto Galanize and keep some presence on this top floor, but very quickly scattering away from Solar. It's going to peek out towards the bathroom window. A big pick if it goes over in their favor, and it does. They take down the IQ. They take down Sundi. Do you stay around? Do you get greedy for another? You do, and Thomas, fair play. Be able to make it a double kill, give your team a firm lead so far in this round. The first time Team ClaW have had an advantage or looked in a good position. But immediately, going to keep pushing the luck, and eventually it runs dry. Chris gets one back. 2 versus 3, still very playable for Team ClaW. No defenders above, but the attack have had to vacate it so they can come down towards the main breach. No EMPs in the pocket of the Dokkaebi, so going to have to rely on another way to get past the mute jammer. You just place it further to the left. Looking down in towards site, a mirror window will relay so much information to the rest of ClaW. But we're at 40 seconds. This is still winnable for BE Sports. They could still close this out flawlessly if they can get the smokes in deep enough to obscure the line of sight. Plenty of Nitro Cell in the pocket of Kidu on the mirror, tucked onto the side of the kitchen doorway, in position to throw, but now Dokkaebi lurking above, looking to see if they can catch anyone out. No logic bomb to give them the read. 10 seconds, you gotta move quickly if you want to be able to support the Thermite coming in for the backstab down Solar Staircase. The plant goes down, but they're ready for you. They've perfectly read into it. They walk up through the smoke to deny the plant. And we got there, boys. Let's go, ClaW. You got yourself a round.
Yeah, I don't know how good it feels to be applauding.
Welcome to Talent League, baby.
Yeah, applauding people after getting 1 round out of the 7 that have been played is not something to be very proud of, but Team ClaW, at least it's not a complete flawless. At least you're not down 7-0, and at least you're still in the game, so those are some positives you can think about. Definitely being a lot better on defense than they were on attack. But yet again, there were mistakes then and there. Thomas, of course, very impressive shots. You know, he got himself a nice double to also just shut down that upstairs push and just get himself back all of that floor. But in the end, BE Sports, you know, you ran out of time, you ran out of people, and you lost those gunfights. So Team ClaW will be getting their first round, and very well deserved. So let's hope they can keep it up. And maybe, well, it's very, very hard to do, but if you win 5 more rounds in a row, we can go into overtime, but, you know, there's always ifs and buts.
Oh.
Bit of a call out on illegal headgear, and we have a disconnect. actually getting called off to a rehost. So, I guess we're going to be returning back to our cameras, our lovely faces. You're going to see our very interesting reactions to how this has been going so far. But, when things like these happen, it's best to rehost, not to risk a 4v5 off the bat.
Certainly interesting. Um, I assume it would just be a straightforward rehost. I don't know if there's going to be any ruling on this. It's interesting. That's one way to get around the illegal headgear. Just quickly pull out the Ethernet cable and just go, "Oh, guys, we've had an internet issue actually." Um, but I mean, fair enough, right? You get it in, you get to keep playing. Will take a little bit longer to get back into the round, but that's absolutely fine. 6-1 so far. Not looking ideal, but I think we are going to jump to a short break while we get
Yes.
everything back together. So please don't go too far. Don't wander off. We'll be back hopefully very soon. Hello and welcome back. It is 6-1 to be Esports. We have resolved all the tech issues and hopefully there'll be no more for the remainder of this game. Puffo, how we doing?
Yeah, I had a bit of a nap while all of this was going down, had that
Mm-hmm.
hour-long break, but we're back, 6-1, not looking too promising. Team ClaW, they managed to get one off of on defense, and B Sports managing to get 6 on defense. Let's see if they're going to actually manage to even it out, because there's still a long way to go while we're downstairs, and I'm seeing a bit of an interesting lineup on the side of B Sports. We have the Thatcher, the Thermite, it's common. But then we have Gridlock, we have Glass, and Sense.
Yeah. And what's particularly interesting is that we've seen this extension from ClaW where they have Valk running around the top floor and a couple members on the mid floor. If you go for just a very quick execute, there's a good chance you completely catch this defense off guard. A nice little nade bounce through the drone hole, no protection to stop the Jabba getting caught off guard. The wall's open. We're rolling out our smoke lines. We're kind of ready to go here.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
We are very ready to go, Chris, using that thermoscope alongside the Tense combo could be coming in clutch, but problem is, Team ClaW has a mirror. They can hide behind it, they have reinforced wall, they have sight, they have whatever they need to, but this could be going down for a plant. Now, since C4s are ready, especially from the side of Rikaz and Thomas, they do have those C4s in hand. Smoke's coming out, but the second they're going to peek them, they're going to get taken out. Just like MD took out one, that's going to be levying off the board. Kiddo managing to get that refag early on. 1 minute barely went by, but a lot of ground has been contested, and main breach is open, which could be cutting off a decent amount of rotation.
Now pushing in for the plant. Done a lot of job baiting out for as long as possible with smokes and lines going up. And it's completely undetected. There's no response coming through from the defense. They've gotten the diffuser down. They have verticality opened up by the gridlock. And they've just run into Narnia. Thomas does get one onto Sundi. That's the control from above. There's a couple Kivas coming through to try and provide a safety barrier, but immediately dealt with. More coming through, a Nitrocell placed way over the top. The close angle being held by the Sense is detected as they're running out to try and put pressure on the Glass. But so far it's not enough. Able to watch and cut things down. You got one kill left to find, but you can't do it. Team ClaW able to salvage on a mad run out. Everyone flinging their bodies at Glass to try and it's just about successful.
Tipping my hat off to B Sports, that was a very valid attempt. I mean, how they executed it, I have no clue. How it even came down to the plant was a miracle on its own. But we can commend Team ClaW for managing to get back at it. I mean, they had a long-range gunfight with a Glass of all characters, and after even running out, having all these sorts of bullets fired straight and forward, going for an attempted defuse at all, they managed to do it. Kadu managed to pull it out with a double kill, and a very nice one of that, managing to just about keep Team ClaW by the nick of their whatever in game. They got their second round. It's 6-2, but they still have 4 more to go, and that was extremely close. The fact that these very dangerous Kairos Kai Reward plays actually managed to even get close to them and actually almost got B Sports their winning round is very dangerous. I don't know how to feel Team ClaW is going to be going about it towards the end or continuing into this match with that type of strategy, because I had 2 C4s, but it seems to me that they didn't even hear the plan to go down, and Esports almost had it, but not quite.
A little dangerous, but we move, I guess, right? We just keep on going. I will say it's unfortunate that guys, went for that last little gunfight. It was 12 seconds from the clock. Sometimes you wonder if you're just able to play that clock out a little bit more patiently, is that going to be it? But a very similar lineup coming from Team ClaW now. This is their 3rd defensive round. They're returning back to the site they brought out the first time around. Spotted a little bit of action on the far side of the map, trying to contest over towards Library a little bit harder than they did last time around. And I think that's a change that makes a lot of sense. We saw how quickly B Esports were able to move across the map, open up into Office, and get the main site itself exposed. I like to see them making some adaptations to sort of incorporate a little bit what we saw B Esports do on their defenses.
Yeah, most definitely. But currently going into our possible or not last round, round number 9, we have the time ticking just slowly enough, but no kills have been dropped just yet. B Sports will be the one opening it out. That's going to be Galanus with the Fink LMG. A refrag does come out, L2A3 in hand. That frost is going to be quite deadly, getting the angle and timing just perfectly enough to manage to even out the score. Now, the floor drones are going to be coming out. That mute will be a bit of an issue to him, and, will be denying that shield from actually getting taken out just for now. But managing to actually jump in, he gets it, and now we're down to actually getting rid of that utility. Some aggression is coming out from B Esports, just like they normally do. They're aggressive at the start, and they're aggressive throughout the whole round.
Oh, well-placed Nitro Cell takes down Chris and relieves the pressure coming through onto the side of Big Window. Still opportunities to push for either piano or bathroom pressure as well. That's what Flores is currently trying to do, work an angle on the side. The main breach up above inside the office being opened by the Selmas of Ace now, and they'll be looking to try and sneak their way onto that half wall for the classic plant, putting themselves out on the outside balcony again to just apply as much pressure in towards the site as possible to create that opening for them to go. But Ash caught out by the teammates blind. Gonna have to wait for just a second. Toxic Babes flying through to deny the entry into the site for the time being. No one close in piano though. So here's opportunities now to start to wrap around as Sunday lands that gorgeous shot to take down Kidu.
Kidu is off the board, but now things are going to get a bit more heated. We have 50 seconds on the clock, and B Esports, they need to do something about it. They managed to get Kidu off the board. That's going to be the mute, the shotgun, the C4. Smoke canisters are coming out. That's going to be Onyx with one. A second one coming on to the L2A3. And the final gunfight will be deciding it. Team ClaW managing to get themselves the third round, and a very beautiful one at that, but it was too close for comfort. Again, 2 rounds, 3 rounds all in a row being extremely, and I mean extremely close, just about wiping them off the board for this BO1 today. But, they're slowly making their progress. Just like B Esports managed to get an early 6 rounds, maybe, just maybe, Team ClaW, they got their first 3. Maybe they can get 3 more.
A bold choice to try and stick to the plant through the smoke canister that had been thrown on your position, and you could see it didn't pay off, caught out by the toxic gas, and then that takes away all the pressure that you're building up as the attack. They have to push in deep, they have to try and play for trades and kills at that point in the round, and it doesn't come together for you, you lose out instead, and Team ClaW, inch by inch, moving their way closer towards that overtime, still a monumental task ahead of them. 3 more rounds that they have to pull off, and it's back to where it all began. It's back to kitchen dining. A lot of pressure on the lineup coming through, looking very, very similar. Again, we got this mirror window placed inside a split, which did give them a lot of really good information down in towards that breach once it got opened up and enabled them to play really passively around the smokes that were coming through. And we've seen great use of smoke grenades from the Esports across a couple rounds now to create that pressure, to cut off the longer lines of sight and give themselves these small windows of opportunity to push into that site, to sneak up and try and place down that diffuser. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
Most definitely, this is where Team ClaW was very dominant out of the 3 rounds they won, so let's see what B Esports is going to do to actually adapt for it. Now, the site also being a bit more different, we do see Thomas again on that Valkyrie, but Mira's going to be focusing a bit more of her utility upstairs, where there is a lot of ground to contest. Now, as we're going in, B Esports, they need to actually start taking things like they have been up until now, but without the mistakes we've been seeing, because they have 3 more rounds, and they only need to win 1, unlike Team ClaW. They're under a lot more pressure and a lot more to go for.
Control of Mezzanine already in the hands of B Esports is a really good start for them, and now able to put a little bit of pressure in opening up in towards office. Look, yeah, there is a mirror reinforced setup inside a cubby, but realistically, the verticality you're worried about is inside of office, and Team ClaW willing to sit back quite patiently and passively. That's almost fine for B Esports. You're quite happy just to sit back and watch on these longer angles and just wait for them to have to reaggress to deny the plant. You can have 1 or maybe 2 people just hold onto this from longer, deeper away. Very comfortable. The main site wall now opened up as well, so B Esports, despite everything going on, feeling quite confident to try and sneak in for a plant here, with the ROIs blocking the longer line of sight. Nades rolling through as well, but you got to be careful not to kill yourself, Chris. Come on, Chris. The Nitro Cell coming through as well puts 2 of B members in the grave, as MD will quickly join them.
Quickly joined them indeed. Now we're down to a 2v5 situation. Olivine taking some damage. Galen is able to finish the job. Now we're summering the damage and the HP of the enemies down. Also the player count. Sunzi managing to get one, but not finishing it off. Galen is alongside, will be getting taken out with the cooperation of Corey. And yeah, I mean, again, Team ClaW, you know, Esports, I like how they manage things upstairs. They managed to just hold off main side, master, or actually offices, just so the defenders couldn't actually, you know, peek the upstairs, just so they couldn't get that verticality in. But in the end, it didn't matter. A C4 comes out of nowhere, a frag grenade, Chris, out of everything you could have done, he manages to go for that frag grenade. It bounces off because he doesn't hit it correctly. He tries throwing another one. That's when he realizes the marker is red, and it's too late for him to get away, just managing to kind of summer down the man count himself, and B Esports managing to put themselves in a worse situation. Now this is getting very close. It is 6-4, and B Esports just lost 4 rounds in a row, just like Team ClaW lost 6.
Bomb located by
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not thrilled with the esports attacks. I think we're just being a little bit silly. I don't know why we're adamant on trying funky things and getting caught off. That last round, a little bit silly, right? The Nitro Cell killing your planter, absolutely fine. No shame in that. That's well played by the defense. Nading ourselves, a little bit silly. There is shame in that. But the rest of the team isn't playing in a way to facilitate the ability to push back in, to keep up that pressure, which I've been trying to praise them for, right? The idea of cutting off information, forcing the defense to push through into you. Genius idea when you're coming into a map like Chalet that has these longer line of sights you can hold. But let's make sure we have a second player ready to pick up that diffuser, ready to get back on that plan, to just keep the pressure always up, always put Team ClaW on the back foot.
Yeah, and B Esports right now, you know, they're bringing the guys in for a second round, going downstairs. Not the same strategy, though. We don't see that sense, and they're probably not going to go for this one-sided push, but it could just be a diversion, you know? They're going to make Team ClaW kind of focus around all that main breach, just not allowing the plan to go down again, because that would be a very risky situation. In between of those times, B Esports is going to be pushing up from behind. They got one main breach, that's already a lot of rotation cut off. So they're going to be denying a lot of space movement, but again, Esports, they're not just going to do that. It's not a one-sided push. They're going to go from behind. They're going to breach line, and they're basically going to pitch Team ClaW upstairs and maybe even inside. But, you know, I am respecting quite majorly how Team ClaW is going about it. Just like B Esports, they're all around the place, and they're being very aggressive about it, you know, taking these angles, taking these gunfights, just in order to, you know, kind of bring down any type of threat coming towards site.
And much like Team ClaW, we're seeing B Esports so spread out. There is zero way for them to link up on clearing out a single piece of the map, and what's this led to? A minute 30 of each team just respectively playing ring around the rosies with each other. Nothing has happened, no meaningful ground taken for B Esports. I say that as somebody gonna walk up to the window, just look up and take off the head of 11 upstairs. That's the Valkyrie gone. I guess that's something for it, but again, that's just walking up to a window and shooting up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, quite interesting, but they get the opening kill. Now, one issue I'm having right now is that time. That clock is ticking down slowly but surely, and soon enough, it's going to be down to the last 10 seconds. Glass losing the gunfight against Thomas. Thomas has been bringing the heat, definitely for Team ClaW around overall this match, but the breach is opened. C4s are coming out, not going to be able to get the pick, and with that, I mean, Thermite safe and sound. We have a bit of a one-sided push now, but Team ClaW isn't so sure of it. They don't have the information if anyone's above. They don't have the information if anyone is around main breach, but they're very careful of it. And it's going to all start raining down. Galen is getting a second kill. That's going to be a 4v3 situation. Ash managing to take out. Rika's going to be getting one for himself. Thatcher along. That diffuser will be getting planted down and also getting a kill for himself. The hatch is getting peeked and just about missing it. Spotting it. Mira gets taken out. Onyx, the eye of an eagle. And now it's down to a 2v1 post plant. With very low HP, Thatcher manages to damage the Legion just more than it already has been. Peeks him out. That's going to be one for K2, but Onyx finishing it off. Pistol in hand. And with that, it's going to be finishing it off at a very nice 7-4. And with that, I mean, I would be surprised if B Esports actually managed to lose.
again, the best round, the best round that ClaW played on that defensive half, they lose.
Incredible.
They did a good job of just absorbing the pressure from B for the entirety of that round up until the end. They sat around the map. They were patiently waiting. They didn't overextend onto to just giving up a random kill to B Esports for a change. And then they lose out of nowhere. I mean, fair play to B for putting it together in the end by opening up the breach, by getting themselves onto that plant, but again, this game has been messing with my head. Fair play. B Esports looked consistently better, and they're finally able to end their unfortunate streak of not being able to close out an attack by getting one that maybe they shouldn't have. And by maybe, I mean they definitely shouldn't have. But that's how Siege goes. That's how luck goes sometimes. And you got to catch that break when you can and make sure that you see the round out to the end. And they did that. They took that lucky break and they ran with it. And they made sure it counted for them to push that game over the line because ClaW had their stuff out. I wonder what happened. I honestly wonder what happens if that planter gets killed.
I mean, look, Esports went with a 6-0 and actually were getting close to going overtime, which is surprising. I mean, I was completely flabbergasted. Even the break was actually having me a bit tempted because I was going in 6-1, you know, Esports are going to clear away. Maybe they managed to get a round or two on defense, but it's going to be quick. It went almost to 6-5. It almost went into overtime, which is insane, which both of these teams are seemingly very comfortable on defense and not as much as an attack. But that's going to be a not so quick game, and I'm too tired for this. You guys are probably too tired of this, and I'm going to be going to sleep.
Well, thank you, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Come back for the next play day, of course. We'd love to have you join us once again. Until tomorrow, take care. Have a lovely evening. Bye.